Welcome to the True Core Crew podcast, where we discuss everything health and fitness, giving you the tools and tips to not only build, but live your best life, body, mind, and spirit. Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whenever you are watching or listening to this. Welcome to the True Core Crew podcast. My name is Shannon Logan, and I'm the owner of True Core in Annapolis, Maryland. And I am joined by, once again, my wonderful client success manager. Hi, Aline.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm really good. I'm doing exceptionally well. Thank you.
Exceptionally well. We like to hear that.
Yeah.
And for you listeners or viewers that are watching this, listening to this in Maryland, we finally have a few days of non-rain.
It's been spectacular. That might be why I'm doing exceptionally well.
We had like 6 straight days of like downpours.
And cold. Getting cold. It's warm and sunny today.
I know. It's nice. It's actually like close to 80. It's like weird.
Yes. When I took a walk this morning, I was like, oh, it's way warmer than I expected it out here, but enjoyable. It's all the same.
Did you feed your bunnies this morning?
I only saw one. I always pack my pocket full of carrots just in case. They're usually evening roamers. They don't come out in midday. So when I walk in the mornings by myself, I don't see them as much. So then I take the family on the evenings for the bunny trips, for the bunny walk trips.
Aline has about 15 bunnies that live through the block or two by her house. That
domesticated wild bunnies.
They were domesticated and then they multiplied and were let loose by mistake or by purpose. However,
I don't know the full story, but it's been like 15 years apparently. I'm getting more and more bits and pieces of the story.
Oh, I thought it was a recent thing.
No, they've been here for years. I've just recently started pulling the family on.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, I thought we'd go through a series where we get to know each other a little better. I know you pretty well. You know me pretty well, but our listeners and viewers may not know much about who the heck we are and how we got into this field and why we do what we do. So I thought we'd go through a little bit of a series of stories of you, me, and then some clients that we've really enjoyed working with as well, and kind of like share what that looks like and how people kind of change lives as a result. So we're starting with us. We're throwing you and me under the bus first. Doo-doo. See, look, that's a good sign. So how did you first hear about True Core or like get exposed to what we do?
Well, I'm going to be vulnerable because I have to tell what had happened prior to joining True Core. So, well, first off, obviously you and I have been friends for a long time. And prior to me joining True Core, we were close friends. So that is how I initially found out of True Core. I am in recovery. God willing, I will have 8 years and 5 days. That's a lot of 1 days at a time. But at 18 months sober, I went through a custody battle and I had lost primary custody of my child, which was rather disheartening because that is not why I got sober. I got sober to be a better mom, not for her to be taken from me. With that being said, he wasn't necessarily a better parent, but on paper, he could provide more for her. And he unfortunately used my past against me. Which led me to reaching out to you, Shannon. I knew that I needed to do something for myself. I needed to do something for other people. Being in the AA program, I'm not a spiritual person, but I do pray. I do feel like there's something out there watching over me. And I started asking God to help me figure out how to help myself, how to help others, because I didn't want to go backwards because I knew drinking would just push her further away from me. And that was not the end goal. So to go directly into the true core aspect, I asked you if you thought working out would help me and my mental health, because I felt like I was falling into a depression. And that was not where I wanted to be. And you said, of course it would, because I don't have a background in working out. I played high school basketball. So it had been quite a few years since I had did any kind of physical activity. So that's how I ended up at TrueCore, because you said absolutely it would help me, and it has been life changing.
That was, what, almost 6 years ago at this point?
5
years.
I actually looked in our management account. I was like, I wonder what day I started. I think I started a couple days before it actually says in the system, though. But I believe it was November. 5 years
It was
ago.
November.
Yeah, 5 years ago.
So take us back to when you first started. You just mentioned you hadn't been working out. Like, you hadn't been
Nope, no
regular-
background.
no background, right?
No history, no idea. I didn't even know what CrossFit was, honestly.
Right. And so I was just talking to someone else about this. Like, CrossFit is interesting because there's a big reputation about it. Part of it is a good reputation. Some might say part of it's not a great reputation. What I appreciate about it is that each CrossFit gym is independently run and managed, meaning they're all very different and they never follow the same thing. So our gym versus the one down the street, across the block, in another state, they're all going to have their own feel. So just because something is a CrossFit gym does not mean that it won't fit any stereotype that you've heard, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
So did that turn you off at all at first? Like, was that scary for you to start with?
Not because of what you just said, because again, I had literally no clue. I had never even been to like Gold's Gym. I had nothing to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
So, working out as an older woman with no idea of what I was doing was intimidating. But the CrossFit aspect of it wasn't something that was necessarily hindering me in any way. I didn't know what I didn't know.
Which might have not been a bad thing at the time.
Correct.
Okay. So what was the first week like then? Like, actually, take you back to your
Oh,
first
my
week.
stars. You think I remember?
Walked in for the first time. Do you remember what it felt like to walk in for the first time?
It was intimidating. Because I had no idea. Like, a barbell. I don't even think I did weight training in high school. I know that wasn't a thing. So it was all foreign to me. I had literally no idea. I'd never seen a rower. Obviously, I'd seen exercise bikes before, but like the rig in the back of you, like, what is that? What am I supposed to do with that? I had no idea, no clue.
Right. Okay. So what was the first week like then? First couple workouts, I should say.
Learning experience. It was, I can say now, like looking at new people coming in, like I probably look like that, and I've come a long way. And what it takes is reps and practice. The more reps you do, the better you get. And that's just not at the gym. I know this, Shannon. I know what you're thinking right now. But so like obviously I was a novice. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm sure I didn't have perfect form, but I was moving my body and I was doing more than I was the week prior to that first week joining the gym. So there's that.
How was the culture experience? Like,
oh my God, TrueCore
I'm sorry.
has a lot of other people in recovery. I felt at home. It really is the vibe in the gym. People are welcoming. They're very friendly. They're like-minded individuals. People that are coming to the gym aren't necessarily going out drinking and partying and smoking and doing all of that stuff. They actually have their health and fitness on the forefront of their mindset, So being in that environment was extremely helpful to assist me in staying on my path of recovery too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's a big deal. So we weren't mean then.
Awful. Oh, so terribly mean. No, everybody was very patient, very kind. The coaches were Very patient, because I'm sure very patient because you could give somebody, now that I know, on this opposite side of helping a new person, like you could give the same cues over and over again. Sometimes it just doesn't click, and you got to try to finagle and figure out a way to get them to get it. Everybody was very patient, very kind, very welcoming.
So what did you start to see from a result standpoint? Like, I know it was a long time ago, so I should probably stop asking like first month or
something. Yeah, the details are fuzzy.
Yeah. But generally speaking, what kind of results holistically, not just in your body, but emotionally and spiritually or mentally, did you start seeing too?
Well, the strength part of it was absolutely amazing because I didn't even come to the gym for the physical aspect. I literally came to the gym for the mental aspect because I had heard, that them endorphins get popping off whenever you're moving your body and you're doing exercise. That is what drew me to working out. It wasn't, I wasn't overweight. I didn't feel like I needed to do something for my physical body. That was a bonus. The main reason I joined TrueCore was for my mental health, because I had heard that working out was going to help me mentally, and it did tenfold. Like, I could tell that I felt better. It helped me focus on something other than the sadness that I had going on in my life, and making new friends. And again, it was joyful, and the vibe in the gym was outstanding. So it was something to look forward to.
Oh, how did that feel to have something to look forward to?
Amazing, because it was a pretty dark time for me. I was pretty sad going home without my kid. Yeah. So it gave me another outlet.
Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think that you would look forward to going to a gym after
No,
work?
absolutely not. That's absurd. No, I had no clue that would be a thing. Mm-hmm. And now I can't imagine life without it. Like, I can't imagine. Like, I love Addison. She's back in my life. It took another year and a half. Everything worked out. I moved back to Baltimore. I have custody of her again. I get to see her pretty much 85% of the week. She still goes to her father's or whatever. But now I know how much it helps my mental health, that if I don't go to the gym, I may not be as nice to them as I could be.
Now you're also engaged. Now fast forward a couple years.
Yeah, engaged. Yeah.
So when you say them, it's not just like you.
I love him. I love him. I don't want to murder him in his sleep.
His name is Billy.
His name is
Billy.
Billy has a name. He has a name. Yes.
So when you say strength, what does that look like? Describe what that, when you refer to strength, what does strength mean for you? When you say you started to see these strength gains?
Just starting out with just the barbell by itself is 35 pounds was a pretty hefty feat. And then, I have PR'd, which is personal records, on pretty much every single one of my movements consistently. Like, I have gotten stronger, and the weight has gotten heavier on pretty much all of the benchmark lifts. I'm not sure what the terminology is. Is that a proper terminology?
Sure. Major lifts,
power lifts. Power lifts.
And stronger as you've gotten older.
I know. And it's I feel better. I feel better physically, mentally. I'm way stronger now than I was in my 20s. Like,
half your age.
Right.
So what would you say has been the 3 biggest benefits from starting to work out in that like regular cycle then?
My mental health, my physical strength, and the community that I've gained through TrueCore.
Yeah.
It's like a big family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers sign.
Cheers. Jinx. Yes.
Owe me a Coke.
Yeah.
Or in my world, seltzer.
Yeah. You know, I don't like those TV
Aline
stuff.
calls them angry waters.
Yeah, they are.
So now we're like completely on the flip side of the coin because you went from not working out at all to joining the gym to some might say becoming obsessed with the gym.
Yeah, well, I am in recovery. I may have some addiction issues still.
So now you're an employee of the gym.
Yes.
So how did that take place?
Well, you know, I'm again not a religious person, but I feel like there's something above watching out for me. And my previous job, which was right around the corner from TrueCore, you know, and I would come religiously 5-6 times a week, not obsessed at all. Okay. And after the pandemic was basically towards the end of the pandemic, was it last August, last July. No, it was last August. It was July. Randomly, we went into the office on a Friday morning at 8 a.m. We got sat down in the conference room and we were told that the company was being sold. And I had a month left with the company before I didn't have a job anymore. And that was at 8 a.m. And at 8:30 a.m., some random bestie friend of mine, Shannon Logan, may have texted me, "Hey, good morning. How are you today?" And I said, well, I am unemployed. And I said, I just found out I lost my job. And so within a half an hour, I had a job offer from Shannon. And she said, well, guess what? Well, first you asked me if I was okay. And in all honesty, that job was, you know, not a career or anything. And I said, I think I am okay. You know, I wasn't really like, it was a job. It wasn't like a career, nothing that I was really fulfilled with. It was boring and monotonous, but I was really good at it. So when you checked on me, make sure I was okay, told you I thought I was, and then you said, well, I think I have a full-time job opportunity for you at the gym. So within a half hour, I had a new job. What are the chances? You know?
Man,
And
that's
so,
really good.
yes. So obviously you got me all trained up in all the skills that I needed to do to help other people experience what I experienced in a different trajectory, you know, a little bit, you know, more hands-on and more accountability, but I'm basically able to help others do what you did for me.
Yeah. It's going to choke me up. It's going to get me emotional because you've gone all the way from like, I'm going to use this word loosely and feel free to let me know if it's wrong, but kind of like a rock bottom emotional state.
Oh, no, it was terrible.
To now you are literally helping others get out of that.
Correct. And it brings me so much joy to be able to do so.
And you have that because like, not just of what you're good at, which is of course part of it, but it's because like we also really have this foundation of it's not just the body that we want to make sure that we help you.
Correct. Absolutely. It's a whole body, whole mind, body, spirit.
Yeah. And that's
if this isn't right up here and you feel it, don't matter what you do with your body, you could be, you know, Mr. Olympia, but if your head ain't right, you're still going to be miserable no matter how good you look, you know.
You can still have anxiety. You can still have depression. You can still be riddled with fear. You can still be a pretty mean individual. You know,
you don't like mean.
Not ideally.
No.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing your story because, you know, there's a lot of personal stuff in there. And you were willing to kind of come on and give people a little background to who you are and how you got here, which I think is vulnerable and admirable for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And for me, it's been a blessing to watch you kind of grow through these phases. And also, I do have a strong spiritual side to myself where I was in the process of, you know, kind of changing how we do things because I realized that treating just the body long-term would never work, that we had to get into some mental and emotional foundation work as well. So that I was starting kind of a new option for guidance within the gym with that right when you lost your job.
Yeah.
I was like, I know who would be good for this. So I can't take all the credit at all. I feel like there's definitely a higher power guiding us in general. So anything to add before we wrap up today?
No, thanks for listening.
Thanks for sharing. Next time, it's going to be my turn on the hot seat.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll come prepared with questions.
You're going to get blasted with all of the questions because the people want to know.
We'll take some polls. I'll put it in the group. If you're listening in our group, Annapolis Health, Fitness, Nutrition, and Mindset, you guys can post questions. We can ask around the gym, and I'm more than happy to kind of take live hits. I'm an open book as well, so I have no issue kind of sharing stuff. But I enjoyed this, so thank you for your time, Aline.
My pleasure.
For our watchers, also known as viewers, and listeners out there, thank you for your time today. Again, my name is Shannon Logan. I'm the owner of TrueCore. We are located in Annapolis, Maryland, with a little holistic approach to health and fitness. Feel free to reach out to us on the Book of Face on Instagram and let us know how we can help you. Until next time, everyone, we'll talk to you then. Thanks so much for joining us today. Interested in learning more? Join our free Facebook group, Annapolis Health, Fitness, Nutrition, and Mindset, where we give out resources every week and even have live trainings on helping you live your best life. Hope to see you there.